That was very uncharacteristic, and that's a chance, and that should be a goal, and that is goal number 3 for Nigeria. So Aluko, he really waltzed through. He missed it the first time. He came back for it. He collected the ball. He did wonderfully well.
Well, that happened to be the last of the celebrations Keshi will have with the Super Eagles. Why do I say that? Just a minute. Nnamdi Obanya joins us now to discuss this matter. Come out smoking 3-1 eventually with Sudan. I know there are people on Twitter who are saying, look, winning Sudan was no big deal, but they forgot that Sudan is us.
It's a sign of how far Nigeria has fallen. That even Sudan's coach looked angry not to have picked up points at Abuja against the Nigeria, who was supposed to be AFCON champions. A 3-1 win, yes, but we nearly paid the price again. After scoring, we started showboating and we got pegged as 1-1. Some lapses in the Sudanese defense after sustained pressure from Nigeria led to the goals. It wasn't a case of us having any particular pattern or any particular style that we used to break down the Sudanese defense. There was a lot of hopeful long balls and wayward passes, and we couldn't string 4-5 passes together. I tried counting throughout the game. We were not stringing it. So we were not able to break them down. The 3-1 victory is a very hollow victory, because the truth is it's not like it guaranteed us any sort of qualification. Don't let the pitch invasion and the jubilant celebrations on the bench deceive you. It's not that we've qualified. It's not yet Uhuru. What we're still hoping for is still to finish as the 3rd best qualifier, if, of course, the remaining games continue with everybody picking up the points they should pick in our group, because we're still 3rd. We've not yet moved into the top 2. We're not yet guaranteed. So, very hollow victory. First victory after 4 games. It's for AFCON champions, it's not anything to really celebrate about.
You know, the sword of Damocles was always hanging over Keshi, but there are those who thought that after that match, that 3-1 victory, that perhaps the people would have sheathed their sword, but it turns out that Keshi is out now. He's no longer the coach.
The writing was always on the wall. It wasn't a case of if, it was a case of when. What we all missed it was we all thought it to be a case of either Samson Siasia or Sunday Olise or a foreign technical advisor to come in. From feelers and sources, these were the possible 3 options to replace Stephen Keshi at the helm of the Super
Nobody
Eagles.
thought about Amaju.
Nobody saw Amaju. Amaju has become a recurring decimal in the Super Eagles. This is his 4th stint in the Super Eagles. He's almost as much a part of the team as our green jersey or the logo on the jersey. I think Amaju should be institutionalized for somewhere in the NFF. I think, but it's a stopgap measure. He's not been appointed.
So what's he going to do to qualify us for the Nations Cup, and we get another coach to take us through the Nations Cup?
I don't know exactly the reason for this misguided decision, but
you say it's misguided.
It is misguided. It's very misguided.
Why?
We have 2 games to go. The momentum of the team cannot be changed, slowed down, halted. If we're going to play badly, we're already going to play badly. If we're going to play well, we're going to play well. We're 3rd in the group. We're depending on other results. Bringing in Amadu does not really do anything. It's more a case of wanting to get rid of Keshi than do anything else. That's the way I see it. So you take out Keshi and his whole backroom staff, and then it gets more ridiculous. Keshi was not on contract. His contract expired at the end of the World Cup. He's doing
a match-by-match contract.
That's one thing we heard. Another thing we heard is that he's just been doing it. So we don't even know if when the NFF are paying him his arrears, they will pay him for these games he took charge of, because they were not quote-unquote part of his contract. But now they said Keshi is going to go on refresher courses. He and his backroom staff will be allowed to develop themselves. When Keshi was part of the national setup, I think the refresher courses would have been more useful to Stephen Keshi then, so that he could go see what's the latest thing happening. I mean, our players are in their clubs most of the time. You use that time to refresh yourself. But now you've taken him out. We're hearing that if Nigeria do qualify, or whether we qualify or not, a foreign technical advisor is coming in after Amadu. That's what we heard. It's not confirmed. What I know is that the current NFF president has always had a thing for the technical team, where you have a consortium of coaches who support the team manager of the team and his backroom staff.
Has that philosophy won a Nations Cup or a World Cup?
It's more or less becoming the generally accepted practice. It's being regarded. It's almost the best practice in the world. Most of the top teams do it. It's all started from the Americans, because they are used to having large retinue of technical officials when it comes to sports. So the Americans did it. One of our former coaches, Betty Vokes, was actually part of their setup at They just concluded World Cup. So they have a setup like that of a lot of coaches. Your Brazils do it, your Germany, they all do it. They have that. They are not directly with the team, but they are always in the background. They are more or less the backroom staff for the backroom staff. And he's always talked about favoring an arrangement like that for Nigeria. The question is who you bring in, because these people are your scouts, they're your eyes, they're your real-time analysts at matches that communicate with the bench if they see what the team can't see. So if you're going to look at a foreign coach, there's still the issue of who are these people. But to bring in Amaju now, I don't really know. What is Amaju bringing to the table? Yes, we know in the past there was sentiment of Amaju qualifying us for one or two things and not getting the chance to take us there. He was replaced by a foreigner. Maybe this should be a chance, but it's 2 games. Okay, it doesn't do anything.
Let's get across to the NFF president, Amaju Pinnick. He joins us this morning, and thank you for joining us today, Amaju. Well, yes, bring us up to speed now about the position of Stephen Keshi and Amaju Shoaibu.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. We had an executive committee meeting up till almost 3 a.m. this morning, and we, like I told Nigerians, we exhausted every means of our consultation. We looked at all the documents, perused carefully, and came out with that decision. First, I would say that decision was taken in good faith. Is taken in the interest of Nigerians, and not, looking at narrowing into any primordial or subjective sentiment. We did that because we saw a lot of things that have happened in the past, which culminated in us winning yesterday, but also saw that there were issues that bothered us about security. From the beginning of the game to the end of the game. We saw that a hero in the guise of Stephen Keshi was being booed from the beginning of the team. People were hurling stones, I had to send my board members to go into the crowd to control them. Got a lot of people. Otherwise, even at the end of the game, people invaded the pitch, and some of them ran, So it was very bad, So we took all the decisions to save him, from make him understand that he's a hero. He should remain a hero. And like we also said, we did not just bring Amaju. Before now, the last administration, they had already perfected or signed Amaju as the technical director of the Football Federation. And in such circumstances, if you are looking for an interim, measure in football in terms of technical crew, you first go to your technical director, who of course is also a very seasoned coach. And we also not just bring in an Amaju, it's just to manage 2 matches. Then we now say, okay, look at the people. We took into cognizance a lot of factors, like Salisu, the coach of El Kanemi. He has been a huge success in the domestic league. In the last 6 matches, he has not lost any, and he's the only coach that is coaching permanently at the moment. They are playing their matches in Kano, So, and considering the fact that they are not even struggling in relegation, even won the cup with Eyimba last year, the FA Cup. Like Benga Ogubote that has transformed Sharks, and so we took all those things in, and of course Aloyagu, and we decided as a board, A to Z of the board decided that this is what we wanted to do, and we didn't do that because we did that to so many things. And also we also came out with a plan to say, Keshi, you have done well, you have done very, very well. Please go for a refreshers course. Anyway, you are Mokachi, Keshiremu, and the FA will foot the bills. Now, in future, nothing stops you from coming back to the Super Eagles. In future, nothing stops you. He is a Nigerian. He can be the president of the federation. We've seen the likes of Platini, Beckenbauer, So, like I said, people should forgive us if they feel bad about the decision. But generally, they should know that it's not a decision that is primordially based. It's a decision that is. We're not looking at playing to the gallery. We're not looking at playing. We're looking at documentation as it relates to the way forward, moving forward, and that's why we did what we did.